In this video, we're going to continue the AOI development, and we're also going to download into a PLC and simulate the zone conveyor AOI. If you have not yet following my channel, please do follow my channel and subscribe. I recently introduced membership where you could hit this join button and join the membership community. And at the same time, I started posting quiz type of community posts. So if you have not yet seen them, please take a look at them. It has a lot of information that will become handy for your work. And without any delay, now let's get started with our video. In the last video, we developed the AOI, and in this video, I added some extra logic for the AOI just for the purpose of simulating it on the PLC. So what I did in this one is I added a entry jam timer, which was there the last time, but I also added a exit timer, that exit jam timer in here. And if either exit or entry jam timer is done, that's when we are going to fault the zone and move 99 into the current step. Nothing major additions there, but in order to simulate this one, the first and the foremost thing we need to do is call the AOI from the logic, right? So what I did here, just created a main routine, and inside the main routine I'm using a jump to subroutine and created a routine name A1 underscore zone motor and calling that. And if we open the A1 zone motor logic, all I'm doing here is added some simulation logic, which would be the first and foremost thing we wanted to do based on our AOI. When an operator pushes a reset button, we want to clear the zone fault, and that conveyor zone 1 is the name of the zone, so we are going to clear the fault. And also I'm using the dot reset bit of the AOI, that way it goes into the AOI, right? Before doing all that, the first and foremost thing is we need to create a instance of the AOI, right? And the way how we create instance of an AOI is we will, for the sake of showing, I'll just insert a rung and insert. In here we type our AOI called zone underscore mtr, right, which is a add-on instruction, which is zone underscore mtr. Here you could insert it, and every time you insert this, the first parameter field, the backing tag, it needs a zone number, right? So for example, I create zone 2 underscore control, and that's the name of the zone 2 underscore control, and it's going to say it's undefined, and we right click, create new, and hit create, right? And this is, we could just say for zone 2. So immediately what happened is it will create the required, if I look at the properties of that instance, it will create something called as a backing tag, which has all the, let's now go and monitor the tag. It will create the necessary backing tags like the enable, in, enable out, and automatically it created our current step. That's the one which we are using to display on the HMI, and then it created a reset button, which is a bool, right? So this is nothing but a backing tag, and every instance needs its dedicated data structure. Since we created it, the name zone under to control, it created all the necessary backing tags, right? Now based on our AOI definition, we need to pass an argument for the zone data. For example, I will call it as a conveyance underscore zone underscore 2, right? And it should be of a zone UDT, data type zone UDT, and we create it, right? So what we are doing here is if we open the properties of this AOI, you can see the zone data is passed in as a in IO, input and output, right? So why are we using input and output instead of standard inputs and output, right? So the in-out parameter is considered as a pass by reference. That means it just passes a memory pointer to the original tag rather than copying the data in and out every scan. That saves controller memory and CPU overhead. And the AOI can both read configuration settings like the zone speed, timers, and tracking IDs, and write live updates directly inside the same structure. So that's the beauty of having a InOut. Is it's a two-way data flow, and it also helps us with a clean encapsulation of all the required data, which is packed into one UDT, which is called as zone UDT, which has the entry sensor, exit sensor, the motor command and fault, and correct step, right? If you want to know more, please watch my previous videos. The link should appear on the top right corner. Okay, so that's how we created a zone 2. I already created zone 1, and my rest of the logic is just for simulating zone 1 control. Now let's quickly go through the simulation logic. This rung 0, it's nothing but just a reset push button that we are mapping it. So when we hit this reset push button, we are moving 0 into the zone 1. That zone 1 dot fault is mapped into the AOI, and then there is also a dot reset button, dot reset bit that we are sending into the AOI. This is just a simulation logic where I have a bunch of timers, where I have a simulation enable and a simulation trigger that will simulate a entry sensor being blocked. If you have a physical sensor, that's where you map the physical sensor input to this entry sensor. And all I'm creating here is a simulating like a package in transit. So I created a simulate package in transit timer, where if the motor is running and we are in step 1, I'm creating a simulation signal here. And once our AOI goes into the zone, goes into the next step, which is package clearing, I'm creating a package clear timer, or simulating a clear timer. And I'm again simulating an exit photo eye with this simulation transit in and clear not done by a sealing logic of exit sensor. So basic logic here just to simulate the sensors. And then we are calling the zone 1 control. This is just for description. I gave zone 2 control. I was showing you how the AOI can be called. And on the output side, all we are doing is for visualization or for physical firing of an output driver, I'm just using output of the AOI, which is motor command. Use it to command a zone motor, and you could wire this output can be used to turn on a physical output, which can enable a drive or give a run forward command. So that's all for the simulation logic. Now we will save this one and we will make sure we have good revision history going forward. You could add the revision history in here. You could just create and then call it rev3 here, revision 3, and say simulation logic added. And change the date. You could add more details, but for now I'm just showing you one of the best practice to keep keeping a good revision history that will help you, and we'll save it. Now it's time to download this into the PLC and see the action in live, right? So we'll go ahead. I know the IP address of my PLC, so I'm hitting download here. So go ahead, and you could see the reason why this happened. I wanted to take a minute to explain. With all the cybersecurity standards, one of the key thing to avoid intrusion or somebody trying to attack the PLC, it's always a best practice to put the PLC switch in a run mode. Right now my key switch is in run mode, that's why I cannot download. This will help accidental downloads and also help maintain integrity of the program. That way nobody who has no proper training or does not have access can do this task. So for now I will go ahead and put the controller in remote run and then download. I moved the switch to remote run, and you could see now once the switch is moved to remote run, you could see this download. So we'll go ahead and hit download button, and this program will be downloaded into the PLC. Yep, download is done. Change controller to remote run, yes. Now I will go back and put the later, once I'm done with all the this video, I will go ahead and put back in run mode on the key switch, right? So if we go back and look at our simulation logic, we could see already the there no fault when the simulation was enabled, and you could see a simulation working where our current step is going between 1 and 2, and my simulation is working as needed, right? So the unfortunately I don't have a HMI to visualize this one, but later in the subsequent videos I will create a HMI. But you could see the HMI visualization, but you could see the current step of that zone conveyor. It's going back and forth between step 1, which is entering, and then exit, and that's what you see as 1 and 2, right? So if you want to see that logic in action, if you right click this one, open instruction logic, and whenever you do open instruction logic, it will open the instance of that logic with that zone, right? So that's when you see this screen, right? So if you accidentally just want to go back and see the definition, this is where you, on the top right corner, is where you select the zone motor definition, and you could see there is no green tree here. That's showing the definition of it. And if you want to switch between zones, this is a zone 1 status of what's happening inside the zone 1, and you could see the current step going between 1 2, and also you can go all the way on the bottom and you could see the number of parts. The product count is also incrementing. Let me make it bigger, and the product count is also incrementing, right? So if you go back to zone 2, since nothing is mapped on zone 2, so you won't see anything happening here because we have not yet mapped zone 2 for this one. So you could see this here. Okay. So that completes the full cycle where we started from part 1 where we built an AOI all the way to initiating this AOI and verifying with the simulation logic and linking it with multiple zones into a unified production line will be the next part where I still need to add some logic about OK to entry or ready to run, the interfacing between zone 1 and zone 2. That's the next portion of the logic, but I want to complete the visualization on a HMI first using Ignition, and then we will go into how do we create an interface logic between zone 1 and zone 2 if they are, zone 1 is the first one and the next zone is zone 2, right? Until then, please do like, share, subscribe my channel, leave a comment in the comments, and if you are not yet joined the membership, please join the membership. This video will be available for the members only, and the files will also be available for download along with a follow document. Until then, see you in the next video.